What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up with it? What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy. How are we doing today? Today, we are going to be doing some mock drafts over on Sleeper. I'm going to make the lobby shortly. I'm going to post it into the chat, and 11 of us, plus me, that would be 12, are going to do a mock draft. We're going to do 12-team PPR. And then if you guys want to switch it for the second mock draft, we will switch it again. I'm going to make the pick timer relatively quick because I don't think you should need 2 minutes to make a pick in a mock draft. But I did promise to you guys that I did want to do a mock draft that wasn't on Underdog, which is a real draft, right? I wanted to go ahead and do some stuff with you guys. We might be able to do this again potentially next week, but again, it's all about timing. After next week, it goes straight on to the actual season content. So while we're in off-season mode right now, making all the content for your guys' drafts, the actual content for week one will begin either Sunday or Monday, right before the season. So the season starts on kickoff is Thursday the 5th. So we'll probably start making our videos either Sunday or Monday. So either the 1st or the 2nd. I know people are away on Labor Day, which makes me a little bit pessimistic to post on Labor Day because I don't want my video to get fucking RKO'd, but still probably going to do it anyways. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you guys already did your drafts, that's how we're going to be. We'll have content for you, obviously. So let's skedaddle on into here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create a sleeper draft. I'm going to send the link, and then anyone that wants to join can. There's 34 people in here already, so we'll be able to fill the draft relatively quickly. But I got to set that up first. All right. What's up, 44 MSU? How we doing? How we doing? What's up, Penny Pounder? How we doing? Let's go. What's up, Tyron? Yes, sir, Keaton. It's my favorite time of the year as well. Travis Etienne or Achane. Etienne safer. I prefer Achane. Should I trade Jay Jettas since McCarthy is gone? He's going to be fine regardless. Hey, Nick, big fan of your stream. Thank you, Mob Squad. I really appreciate that. Or Mab Squad. I apologize if I pronounce your guys' names wrong. This has been a joke for a long time. If you're a long time viewer, if you're a newer viewer, then you wouldn't know, but I'm notoriously terrible at pronouncing just about any name. At about every single name. Like, people make fun of me for not being able to say Achan's name. People were making fun of me for a while. So now the question is, what is my sleeper login? Will it automatically log me in? Yo, what's up? What's up? When will you post a mock draft, 4th pick, half PPR? I'm going to try to do all the mock drafts that everyone's requesting, but obviously there's a million people requesting mock drafts. I'm trying my best. What's up, Burner? How we doing, Maine? How we doing? All right. New mock draft over on Sleeper. Let's create it, and then I'm going to throw it on screen so you guys can see it. All right. 12-team PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, we'll do 1 tight end, 2 flex, and then we'll remove the kicker and defense so that we don't even have to worry about that. All right, so the pick timer will be 1.5 minutes for everyone. Hopefully everyone goes a little bit quicker than that. We'll add the extra flex, remove the kicker and defense, and then I will send the link. All right, so I'm going to pop this up onto your guys' screen so you guys can see it. And I'm going to invite everyone. So excited for the fantasy football season, man. I know that everyone loves the off season, right? Where everyone gets to have their super fun takes, and I do as well, but there's something special about once the actual season starts, how exciting that actually is, being able to finally watch the games. Put ourselves down here, go big screen, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Let me know if you guys want me to zoom in or anything. Then I need the link to the draft. I haven't done this in a while, frankly. So I'm going to just put the link in the chat right now, and if you guys want to join, you can. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, I got to put myself in. I'll randomize the picks, so I'm going to just randomize it once you guys get in. All right. A-Chain does sound better. I agree with you. I think A-Chain sounds better, but I think it's A-Chan. Yo, what's up? Can you pick from the 3rd slot? You know what? I'll do that. Everyone else can pick from different spots. I'll chill at 3. I'm a big Drake fan, no Diddy, so I've been stealing one of our player nicknames. I call him my quarterback, Jersey Drake. Man, respect. Hit that like button. Facts. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps us a ton. I'm last pick in a 14-man PPR. What should I plan for? I want JT and Marvin. Yeah, I would probably just prepare for probably everything that you think is going to happen to go wrong. That's kind of just how I prepare for every fantasy football draft, thinking that I'm going to get potentially reamed in the draft. So what I would do is probably look for going running back and wide receiver. And honestly, in a 14-man league, if you want to reach, I'd be fine taking 2 running backs with the first 2 picks because I know for sure by the time things swing back to you at the 3.14, the running back core is going to be brutal, assuming your league is a little bit more running back heavy. In a 10-team league, if you get A.J. Brown in the first round, would you get Hurts in the third? I'd be fine doing so. And again, guys, join the draft. I'm going to put it again in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up. Facts. So 101, would you take Tyreek? I am personally going to take Christian McCaffrey. I think that is your best bet. Again, he's banged up. Tyreek's banged up. CeeDee Lamb doesn't want a contract. Jamar Chase wants a contract. It's like this has been the most confusing first round we've had in a while. Like it feels like the guys that are so blatantly the best picks are just not right now. The 3.14, it's hard. I agree with you. 7-man league. When should I take my quarterback one early? When you're in any league that's not, I'd say 12 teams or bigger, the quarterback position becomes a significantly more amount instrumental to your team, meaning that if you're normally in a 12-team league, like you can wait on quarterback, whereas in a 10-team league or an 8-team league, a 17 league, a 6-team league, the positional advantage is very, very important. Bijan or Brees in half PPR. We're going to go Bijan for me. Nick the GOAT. I think that's what that says. Thank you, Shane. All right, guys, join up in the mock draft. If we don't fill the mock draft, which is fine, I'm just going to start it with in the next 2 minutes so that we can do this. We're going to do 2 drafts here tonight. I was thinking about maybe doing 3, but again, it depends how long this ends up taking. Good luck. Have fun. Chuckleberry Finn. Thank you. Thank you. This should be a fun one. Again, try to take it pretty seriously. Don't just draft. I mean, someone might end up doing that, but try to take it somewhat seriously so that we can get some actual results because this is going to be more accurate than anything I can do on Fantasy Pros or on Sleeper. So everyone is in here. I'm going to start the draft in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're at the 3 spot here. To me, Christian McCaffrey goes 1. I'm looking at either Tyreek Hill or CD. I am still relatively concerned about the contract situation with CeeDee Lamb. Tyreek Hill is dealing with the thumb injury, but I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb. I don't think you guys should go ahead and panic just yet on CeeDee Lamb, but as we get closer and closer up until the start of the fantasy football season, right, where, for instance, next week, there is not much confidence. Oh, is he going to sign? Is he not going to sign? If you start to panic, then yeah, I would personally start to panic. But right now, I'm not ready to do that. But again, I get why someone might. Is this real league? It's just a mock draft for fun. Just for funsies. Just for funsies. My favorite time of the year. Yes, sir, Caitlin. Or yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, so draft McCaffrey, Hill, Lamb, Chase, Brees, Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, Bijan, Garrett Wilson. Nothing weird. Nothing strange here. The running backs are probably going to be hopping off the board a little bit less quick in our drafts compared to maybe your at-home league because people that are watching this stream at, 8:30 at night, they're probably the sharper players. You guys are smarter than the average Joe. So you might not be as running back heavy as your league mates, whereas in your at-home league, there might be 6 running backs in the first round. Here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which to me is pretty normal. I think some rooms might have 7 running backs in the first round, but I'd say 5 is probably what is pretty normal if you're in a smarter league. So Jameer and Jonathan Taylor close out the first. Puka and Marvin Harrison begin the second. Again, nothing crazy has happened just yet. Garrett Wilson dragged his nuts across my face last year. Yeah, he did it to a lot of us. But guess what? He also dragged his nuts over the face of the Giants defense today. If you guys saw those clips, Kyron Williams. I'm interested to see where the first quarterback goes in this draft because it is very different from draft to draft where the quarterback goes. Sometimes you might see Mahomes go in the middle of the second. Sometimes you might see 3 quarterbacks go in the second round. Sometimes you might see none and they fall into the third. It's the same thing with the tight end position, except for normally you can basically guarantee there's going to be a run at the tight end position in around the 4th or the 15th round. Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, the 2.4 and the 2.5. Interesting to see Etienne and Kyron go ahead of Saquon Barkley. Now, I don't think that's actually all that crazy of a thought process, but just interesting, just speaking in generalities, because sometimes you see Saquon Barkley even potentially go in the first round. This time he goes near the middle of the second round. Pretty interesting. Derrick Henry at the 2.7, so pretty heavy running backs in the second round, but that's something you should become accustomed to at this point. I got Stroud at the end of round 6, and I was pretty shocked about that. That's a good value. I don't love Stroud, but I do think at value that's pretty solid. So the question is, are these fellas over here, or ladies potentially, going to take running back, or should I just get my guy? I think I'm just going to go ahead and get the guy that I want and then wait until the next round. So we're going to go with Pacheco. Pacheco, Jacobs, or Cook would have been my pick there. I think you could really go either way, though, with those guys. I think they're all very similar to me. Pacheco, obviously, on the best offense out of the group, but that doesn't mean that necessarily every single team, you could be a great fantasy player on a terrible team. Like, for instance, Justin Jefferson could be the wide receiver 1 on one of the potential worst offenses in the NFL on paper. Whereas Pacheco might be on the best team, but he's not likely to finish as the running back 1 is kind of my point. Since the wide receiver depth is much deeper than the running back position, wouldn't it make sense to take 2 running backs in the top 5 picks to secure great players, even in PPR? Again, it's all up to how you believe your league is going to play. So if you take Bijan early, and then, what happens if Pacheco comes back to you and then you feel like, oh, now I got to take 2 running backs instead of getting wide receivers? And yeah, that's exactly what Spock was going to say was going to be my next point. Running backs also get injured at a much higher rate. So we got a running back here. No need to go with another running back here. Chris Olave, I bumped him down my rankings. Anyone that has my rankings would have seen that. Brandon Ayuk, I'm still kind of pessimistic on. So we're going to go ahead and get DJ Moore because I don't think he's going to come back to us. Now, DJ Moore to many would be considered a reach at the 3.3. A lot of the times he goes in the 3rd or the 4th round, but I'm not going to be able to, or the late 3rd or the 4th round, but I'm not going to be able to get him at this pick. So I'm just going to secure him. If you want to go tight end or quarterback here, I wouldn't really judge you all that much. The reason why Olave is falling for me is because I just watched a video today of Derek Carr doing the exact same BS that we saw last season where he couldn't hit Olave at all. And I'm just starting to panic. But yeah, basically the reason why you might not want to go running back super early is because they get hurt at a much higher clip, thus making the wide receiver safer. Now, again, it's not a guarantee that Breece Hall, Bijan, whichever running back you take gets hurt, but that's just kind of the thought process. It's all about your risk tolerance, right? If you personally feel way better about your teams when you take that running back early, then go right ahead. Personally, for me, after McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, and Lamb are off the board, that's where I start thinking, hey, maybe I want to draft a running back. That's just kind of my thought process. Again, I like Amon-Ra, I like Justin Jefferson, I like Chase, but to me, pick 4 through 8 is where you're going to see both of Breece Hall and Bijan go. ETN season, wouldn't be surprising. Yeah, I like Stroud in the 6th round. I'm just kind of off of Stroud when you see him go in sometimes like the 4th round, the early 5th round. To me, it just seems like a little too high of a price. How do you feel about JJ with Darnold? I still feel the same way I would have with JJ McCarthy. I don't think that JJ McCarthy or Sam Darnold are very good, but knowing that JJ McCarthy is hurt, I understand. Sam Darnold's going to be fine. Is Sam Darnold Patrick Mahomes? No. Is Sam Darnold a great quarterback? No. But the Kevin O'Connell system is very good for the quarterback position, and I think that we should end up seeing JJ McCarthy have a great year. JJ McCarthy was dominating down the stretch of last season. Even without Kirk Cousins, we saw him put up 18, 16, 18, 20, and 19 PPR points without his quarterback, and I think things should get better with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a little bit underrated. So after we went with DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel, Cooper Kupp, Sam Laporta, Malik Neighbors, Chris Olave, Mike Evans, Travis Kelce, and Jalen Waddle. So both tight ends here, the big 2 at the tight end position, go in the middle of the 3rd round. Interesting, because sometimes you see them go at the late 2nd, and sometimes anywhere in the third. I'm interested to see here with you guys drafting with me, what are the odds of where Andrews and McBride fall to? Because it really does seem like most fantasy football players, after Laporta and Kelsey go, they typically have about a round of a block between those tight ends and Andrews and McBride. Am I saying that's necessarily like going to happen 100%? No, but I think that is definitely a good rule of thumb, something that typically happens. Hey, Nick, I'm in a 14 team half PPR, two flex keeper league looking like Kelsey or Laporta might fall to me. Is it worth using my second pick on one of them or just keeping Ferguson? Oh, I'm keeping Ferguson in the 14th round because, in my opinion, in a 14 team league, I think the quarterback and tight end are devalued compared to smaller leagues. That's just my opinion. That's how I've won leagues. When my league was a 14-man league, I found a lot of success waiting on quarterback, waiting on tight end, having the stud running backs, the stud wide receivers. So I definitely get Ferguson in the 14th round as your keeper, and then you don't have to worry about the tight end position. Last year, I went CMC, Chubb, ETN in the first 3 rounds. Well, outside of Chubb, that probably worked pretty well. Probably worked pretty well. How do you feel about Joe Burrow coming off the injury? I feel like Joe Burrow is going to be a great player again. I'm not feeling like when I see him on the board at pick, for instance, 61, I'm not sitting there thinking, holy shit, I need to draft Joe Burrow, right? I'm not thinking that, but I think he's a fine pick. You won, Ricardo. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. I had the last pick of my draft in a 12-team league, and I grabbed Kyron since every single team took a running back prior to me, hopefully holding the starting spot over. I think he's going to hold the spot over Corum. I think that Blake Corum is going to vulture some touchdowns. I think we don't see that insane workload that we saw to Kyron last year, but that doesn't mean that Kyron's a bad pick. I actually like Kyron a lot. There's clear injury risk. You know that when you draft him, and I think that's baked into his ADP because if you said on paper, Nick, Kyron Williams is not going to get hurt, right? We'll just project, hey, he's going to play the whole season. He's going to be fully healthy for the whole season. He goes in the first round. I'm up now, so I'm not going to keep chit-chatting here. We're going to keep talking, obviously, but all right, McBride still available in the 4th round. He might come back to us in the 5th. He might not, though. So let's go ahead and get Trey McBride. Now, the reason why I like Trey McBride so much is because I really do believe in Kyler. If you guys watch the videos, all summer I've been talking up Kyler Murray at ADP. I love him. I think Marvin Harrison's going to boost this offense a ton. And I think that what I saw to Trey McBride being the main tight end on the team after Ertz went down, we saw that Trey McBride is legit. He's a red zone threat. And if we look ahead at his stats last season, you can see that towards the end of the year, he started to really pop off. And having a super reliable tight end with that 20-plus point upside weekly is very important. Now, to me, at running back there, you could have went White, you could have went Kamara. At wide receiver, you could have went George Pickens, Amari Cooper. But this range of wide receiver feels very similar to me, whether I get them in the 4th or the 5th round. So unless I wanted to double up on wide receiver, I'm fine taking McBride there. Now, when I go an elite tight end, I typically don't match it with an elite quarterback in the first 4 or 5 rounds in a double flex league because you just need more depth. But in a regular 12-team league, it's a little bit smarter, in my opinion, or not as crazy. I think Blake Corum is a great, like, if you draft Kyron and then you draft Blake Corum, that's fine with me. Now, I am probably the most anti-handcuff guy ever, but I still think that's a fine move. At 2, what is the furthest you would reach for Cup? The 3rd round is the furthest I'd reach. Like, I'd be fine taking him at 3.3 where I took DJ Moore. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Anonymous. No problem. Kyron and McCaffrey led all running backs in points per game last year. He'll be fine. I agree. I agree with you. 10-man full PPR league. I have the 9th pick through a All right. How do you take advantage of that? That's a huge advantage. The way you take advantage of that is by just taking the best players available at the position. Early on, guys, I'm really trying to, I'm going to make a video about this, but we need to really heavily just take the best player available and not worry too much about taking like, oh, I need to take 2 running backs. I need to take 2 running backs and a receiver. I need 2 running backs and a tight end. We're going to be talking about that soon. But okay, we're back up on the clock here. I don't want to waste your guys' time sitting here for an hour. So we're going to end up going with I like Kamara, but I think we're just set up here to go wide receiver. And we're going to go with George Pickens. Again, could Ayuk get traded? Definitely. But at this point, to me, it seems less and less likely that we end up actually seeing Brandon Ayuk get traded. Again, could he get traded tomorrow? Could he get traded while we're talking right now on live stream? Maybe. But it just keeps seeming less and less likely like that's actually going to happen. If you told me a week or two ago, hey, is Ayuk getting traded? I would probably have told you 100%. But now I'm not as confident in that. I got the 11th pick in a 12-team sleeper league PPR. I want Pacheco, so I'm pretty much forced to snag him around two. Yeah. Now, look, I'll tell you guys this right now. If you really want a player, just take him. That's kind of my opinion on things. Now, do I advocate reaching potentially 10 or more picks to take a guy? No. But if you want a guy, take him. Right? This is something that a lot of fantasy football analysts won't tell you. Personally, it's your team, right? While I might tell you I would rather have Puka or Kyron or whatever, if you want a player, just take them. You are going to enjoy watching your fantasy football team a lot more if you really enjoyed the player that you took. That's just my opinion on things. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm more likely to reach on Jalen Waddle in my at-home league because I like Jalen Waddle. Now, I don't do that because I'm trying to win. I'm trying to give my team the best expected value of winning my fantasy league. But if you want to take a player on your favorite team, you want to take a player you like, take them. Personally, I'm not going to do that. But if you want to do that, I'm not going to sit here and judge you. That's just not how I am. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Spock. And hit that subscribe button. What's your thoughts on McConkey versus Palmer? I think McConkey is going to be the number one target on the team, but McConkey banged up. McConkey small. McConkey, like, he's a great route runner. He's nimble. He's the type of guy you'd want to date your daughter. That's what people say about white wide receivers, right? So that's the joke we'll make here. But McConkey, he's a good player. I think, though, the reason why I've been taking a lot of Palmer compared to McConkey is just because Palmer goes later. So I'd rather just take the later shot on a guy I've seen in the NFL before. McConkey could smash, though. So I'm fine taking. I wouldn't take both of them in the same draft because the Chargers are just a super run heavy team. I'd be fine taking, if I had 3 drafts, if you took one in one in the other, and then the other one you don't get any of them, I'd be fine with that. So we're going to keep answering questions, but I do want to keep talking about the draft here. Rashee Rice at the 5.4. His ADP keeps rising. I'm a huge fan of Rashee Rice. It makes sense that he went here. You guys watch my videos. You hear me talk about him. I don't watch a lot of other fantasy football content. I'll keep it a buck with you. But I've seen Rashee Rice on the thumbnail of multiple videos on YouTube talking about fantasy football. So clearly I'm not the only one, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the only one that likes Rashee Rice, but he's going to keep moving up. Kincaid, Cooper, Pitts, Lamar, Walker, AK, Terry McLaurin, Richardson in the back of the 5th. What a pick that is. Aaron Jones, Evan Ingram, CJ Stroud, Keenan Allen. So again, no one's really doing anything crazy here. This is pretty interesting. It seems like everyone here is smart. No one's doing anything absolutely insane. We do see that 4th, 5th round kind of conglomerate at tight end occur, and then the quarterbacks keep on getting taken. So we're basically iced out on, we're not necessarily iced out on quarterback, but I'm not really fiending for a quarterback right here. We're probably going to go either running back or wide receiver. Again, I'm talking my actual strategy during the video, or during the stream. I know you guys are listening, but there's going to be people watching this back. There's people that aren't in this draft. So I'm just going to talk through my strategy as if you guys weren't here, even though you are. Shout out to all 125 of you. This is by far the biggest live stream we've done this summer. I appreciate all of y'all. I want to be doing more live streams. I do like doing the video mock drafts as well, but live streams as well. How are you feeling about Corum? I think he's a great, reliable back. He's the best running backup that the Rams have had in a while. Go Fins, baby. I'm in a sleeper 10-team PPR draft, 2 flexes. Hope JT. That's fine. That's definitely fine with me. I like that. JT and Barkley. I got the 5th in my 12-team half PPR league. Bijan, London, Waddle, Kamara, Smith, McBride, Burrow. That's great. That's a great start. That's a great team. 2 with the 1st round pick. I mean, I'm not taking 2 with 1st round, but I hope you guys understood what I actually meant. I know you're just fucking around, but I'm fine reaching on certain players if you like them. Now, don't reach like 3 rounds just to get your guy, but if you want to reach 5, 6 picks, go right ahead. All right, so we still don't have another flex. We are kind of iced out on elite quarterback unless we get Dak, but I'm not really fiending for some Dak pause right here. So we're going to go Get Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed is kind of a question mark to many fantasy players because the snaps in Green Bay, like you're going to be seeing 4 or 5 receivers deep, them running multiple guys, taking them in and out. But I think Jaden Reed's the best of the bunch. I think Christian Watson's very talented as well. They have a pretty talented wide receiver core as a whole, but I think that Jaden Reed is the best of the group. He was looking great in terms of efficiency metrics. If you look at the efficiency metrics, so I like Jaden Reed a ton. I think you guys should like Jaden Reed as well. And again, I'm a huge fan of the Green Bay Packers this year. I'm a cheesehead. I need to get one of those fucking cheesehead things to wear during my videos because I really do like Jaden Reed this year, and I think a lot of people are going to sleep on him just because of how many targets there are in Green Bay. I get it does feel kind of gross in a way to draft a guy in the 6th, the 7th round that has that much competition around him, but sometimes you end up hitting on the pick, right? If Jaden Reed goes off, he could really be like a top 18 guy weekly on your team, and he's my wide receiver number 4. 118 people in here. Yeah, Caleb. Hit that like button. That's a facts. What's up, Caleb? I was hoping Richardson would get back to me at the 6.4. Yeah, Richardson, I would say if he doesn't go in the 5th round, normally people snap pick him in the early 6th round. Unless you are in a league that is just scared to death of injuries, because some of my friends are like this, where if a player gets hurt the year prior, they're just completely off of a certain player, even with all of the upside you saw, right? If you watched last year, you saw the upside for Richardson. Some people will just continue to panic. Which stack would you go out of your way to acquire at the 1-2 turn? My favorite picks would probably be like Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon, uh, Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor. I'm not really super on, like, I'm on all of those players, so I don't really care which group I get. Hopefully, I know it's a shitty answer, but that's just kind of how I feel. Rocky Bowers in the 7th round. Interesting. Interesting. Reason for it is I have Pacheco, Kyron, Etienne, Henry, and A Chain all in the same group, so I'm risking. That makes sense. That makes sense. Are we getting a draft-a-thon this year? Ah, dude, I'm never doing that again. Never doing that again. That was so hard to do for 10 hours. I felt like death afterwards. I'm never doing that again. I could see myself maybe doing it. Like, look, if I had 100,000 subscribers and there was 10,000 people in here watching me do it, I probably would do it if I'm being honest with you. And that has nothing to do with me needing views or something, but I'm just being blatantly honest. Like, streaming for 10 hours and then getting off and just feeling like I went 3 rounds against Mike Tyson and he broke every single bone in my body is kind of how that one felt. It's hard to talk for that long. And I love talking. I love hearing myself talk. I think everyone does who makes videos. At the 101, Hill, Pacheco, Evans, Walker, better than CMC. All right, wait. Let me look in a second. All right. So we don't have a quarterback. Could get Dak. I do have Dak ranked the highest. At running back, yeah, I don't really love the running backs here. I think we might just take receiver again to flip-flop through. Could go Dak. Could go Jordan Love. Let's just go Jordan Love. Let's just go with the stack of Jordan Love and Jaden Reed. You don't need the stack, but I did it right there. I do, though, on paper, like, gun to the head, I think Dak outscores Jordan Love, but because of the stacking upside, and by the time things come back, I just kind of know how things are going to go. Now, I get that a lot of the teams here have quarterbacks, but Joe Hammy doesn't, Tato doesn't, and they have 2 picks before I get to pick again. So very unlikely that I can guarantee myself to get one of those guys. So I'm fine taking the guy there. So Hill, Pacheco, Evans, Walker. I would rather have CMC, Pacheco, Evans, and Flowers personally, but it's close. Makes sense. Makes sense. Which wide receiver stack is worth targeting? Oh, dude, don't take Debo and Ayuk in the 1st and second turn. Don't do that. Go. I wouldn't take any of the. Oh, I guess you're talking about at ADP, not in the 1st or 2nd round. I don't love taking 2 wide receivers on the same team, if I'm being blatantly honest with you. Those are 3 teams where you can do it, though. But to me, it would be Puka and Cup if I had to. It would be Puka, Cup, AJ, Devonta, then Debo, Ayuk would be my rankings. I drafted Richardson on 2 teams last season. I ended up in 3rd place in both leagues. 1 draft so far, and I grabbed him again. Dude, he's great. He is so good. So good. Would you take MHJ at the 12-13 pick turn? Yes. I would be fine doing that. Now, I think most of the time you could probably just get like Puka or AJ Brown or Garrett Wilson, so you don't actually need to do it. But if he's there and you want him, take him. Gibbs hammy scare you? Does scare me. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't sit here and tell you that I'm 100% not panicking, but I'm not as worried as I would have been a couple days ago. They're saying he's going to be good to go for week 1. I'm not a doctor, but we all know how hamstrings work in fantasy football. He fucking hurts it again. He's out 3-4 weeks. It's very concerning. But again, they're being cautious with him. They're not throwing him to the wolves. He's going to be back in practice next week. I'm not super worried. Again, am I 100% confident that he's not going to get hurt again? No, that would be like, I'm not 100% confident any player isn't going to get hurt again, but I definitely am. I'm more worried than I would be if he didn't get hurt. That's all I'll say. That's all I'd say. What's up? What's up, John? John, I saw you in Spock's chat last night. I didn't comment anything because I turned on Spock's stream to see if Danny or Bush were on there, and they weren't on there. So I watched for like 5 minutes and then got out of there. But I saw you in there. I was like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Do you print your results for your draft knowing each spot if you're in a random spot? What to be honest with you guys, I just go into the draft. I bring my rankings there on the Patreon, and I just draft. I don't really think too much about anything. That's probably the biggest key is just turning your brain off from overthinking. You want to just come there as prepared as possible, so you don't have to think at all. Now, obviously, I make videos every single fucking day. I have a real job, and I do this as well. So, but obviously, I understand I'm probably the most prepared person possible, or one of the most prepared people possible for the drafts. What if you want to do a couple mock drafts from every single spot, you print them out, bring them to your draft. I think that's actually something that could really help you. So if you want to do that, go right ahead. Yeah, this is a sleeper draft. All right. So let's look at some picks here. Interesting to see Worthy and Adunze go back to back. I think Worthy's value is skyrocketing in terms of how most analysts view him, most players view him. So I don't think that's all that crazy. Just a little bit different compared to what we've seen in some mock drafts. Anything else that's really like out of the ordinary? Again, you guys are drafting so normal that really nothing crazy has happened to where I'm like, you fucking buffoon. Again, I don't like DeAndre Swift. ROU Cy took him. I don't like him, but again, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you took DeAndre Swift in the 7th round. What a crazy pick. That's really not that crazy, right? That's pretty normal. Javonte in the 8th, that's early to many. I like him in the 8th, though. I'm taking him in the 8th. I'm just saying based on ADP, that might be a little bit of reach. But I don't know because I don't do too many drafts on Sleeper if that would be a reach on there. What's y'all's thought on McConkey and Sticky Ricky? I'm not really touching Ricky if I'm being honest with you, but McConkey's fine. Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey, dude, McCaffrey is on the cover of Madden, so if he was ever to get hurt again, it would be this year. But the problem is if you're panicking super hard on like McCaffrey, and if you overthink things, like if you like, for instance, the reason why I'm never taking anyone over McCaffrey at the 101 is because of how stupid I would feel if I don't take McCaffrey and then McCaffrey scores 80 or more points more than the other running back too, right? Like that wouldn't really surprise me at all if it happened again. So I don't really try to overthink things in a huge way. Because again, I will have a huge regret. Yeah, I think Ayuk's staying as well. Oh, the Discord. Yeah, Spock does not stream. That wasn't you, John? Am I crazy? What the fuck? I thought I saw a picture of you in there. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe there's another shirtless man. Another good-looking shirtless guy. No Diddy. Yeah, join the Discord. Spock is always in the Discord. He's talking on there. Yeah, variance is tough. Variance is tough. All right, so we're about to be back up on the board. The running backs are looking as suspect as possible. It's up super doggone dope. Suspect as it gets, but there's still running backs here that we like. And again, we went so wide receiver heavy early. We're just going to have to churn the way. Like if this was a real league, we'd be churning the waiver wire and we would be drafting a bunch of running backs. Yeah, I will do that for you. AO photos. I will rate each team here. We'll break them all down. I'm going to like my team the best, of course. Probably not, honestly. Someone will have drafted better than me, probably, because I took DJ Moore a little earlier than people would like, right? And maybe I don't end up getting the running backs that I like. But again, that's just kind of the risk you take when you only draft one running back early. All right. Who says that? Yeah, I agree with you. If you just kind of thinking in the draft, hey, if you draft on ESPN, you could look at ESPN's ADP, being like, okay, at whatever pick I have, this should be the cluster of players that I like that I'm choosing from. That's something that's fun to do. good strategy. Deontay Johnson. I like the wide receivers here, but again, we're kind of running backless. So let's go. Man, like the ADP on here is so different than my rankings. So let's go Zach Moss here. Let's go Zach Moss. Hope that he's the running back one on the Bengals. Will he be guaranteed? Probably not, but he could be, right? I think he has the best shot of being the running back one. Matt McCann. Kevin Hott. Kevin Hott. You guys see? Oh, fuck. What's that guy's name? The Duncan guy. He got divorced from his wife, and I can't remember his wife's name. I can't remember his name. Oh, I'm so bad, dude. Affleck, Ben Affleck, got divorced from his wife, I think. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Regular PPR, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex trade offer. I got Josh Allen and Josh Jacobs. I would give up Jonathan Taylor, Kyler Murray. Oh, man. Oh, man. I think I'm holding, to be honest with you. I think I'm holding. Because I got Taylor as a first round. Great. Problem, though, is Josh Allen and Josh Jacobs. Those are like second, third round pick kind of guys. I think I'd accept the trade and get Josh Allen and Josh Jacobs. Having a backup, yeah, I agree. What's up, Shannon? How we doing? J Lo and Flock. What about as the 102? What are we referring to here? Well, give me some more context because I might just not be paying attention. Jorge Pickens season, baby. I agree. I like Jorge Pickens season. We're gonna go with another running back here, though. Another running back. Just keep churning the backs. Keep adding more talent to the running back room. We don't need another tight end or another quarterback. So we can feel pretty confident doing so. The question is, which running back do we want? I don't want Chubb. I mean, I think realistically in like the 9th, 10th round, I would be fine taking Chubb. No, I wouldn't be. I'm gonna be honest. I'm lying straight through my teeth. I would not be comfortable doing that. Jalen Warren moved down my boards because of the injury. Let's go Tajay because I think Tajay has a good shot of being the number 1 back in Tennessee ahead of Tony Pollard. At the 102, yeah, I mean, if that's all we're talking, just who am I picking at 102? I'm taking Tyreek Hill. Personally, I'm taking Tyreek Hill. We're gonna do another one after this. After this draft, I'm going to grade every single team, and then I will go ahead and start another one so that the stream's about an hour, 20 minutes. I think that's a pretty fair run for the stream. Some people might stream for 3, 4 hours again. Personally, I think the quality of content drops off pretty strongly after like the hour 45 mark. Like my brain, like again, it's easy to talk to you guys because I'm talking to the chat, I'm talking to you guys, but sometimes it feels like you're going on for a little too long. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. That injury was gruesome. I'm not taking Chubb at all. But like, look, if I'm in 10 drafts, maybe I would take Chubb once. Again, you need an IR spot though, because if you're just gonna have Chubb chill on your bench for 4, 5, 6 weeks, like the odds are you're not even gonna want to hold him for that long. You're gonna cut bait, and then you're gonna feel terrible that you picked him, right? And then you're gonna cut him, and then some other asshole in your league is gonna pick him up, and then somehow Nick Chubb's going to turn into old Nick Chubb, and then you cut him and you feel stupid and you lose your league because of it. That's probably what would happen. That would be my thought process. I'm just not taking him because I think the injury is very serious. I think that they might end up just using their other back on the team for a majority of the season ahead of him, and then you just end up disappointed that you drafted him. I agree. That injury was gruesome. That was one of the worst injuries I've ever seen, if I'm being blatantly honest. So everyone was Zach Moss, Tua turn of the ball over, Christian Watson, J-Mo Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, who's fallen down boards because of his injury, Tajay Spears, Brian Robinson Jr., JSN, Trey Benson, Cortland Sutton, Hollywood Brown. Yeah, his leg did a full 360. That was one of the worst injuries I've seen, I think, ever. Like, I remember watching that live against the Steelers, seeing him get hit. And then I remember because I was like half paying attention because I'm pretty sure there were 2 games going on at the same time. And they're on the goal. It was near the goal line. They're giving the ball to Chubb. So I'm like, okay, there's going to be a touchdown. Right. So I look down and I look up and he's down. I'm like, holy shit, he's hurt. And then I try to find the video on Twitter because they weren't really showing the video on the broadcast. And that was gross. I leave Chubb off and try to make a move week 3, week 4. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think Chubb might miss more than 4 weeks, to be honest. And I think when Chubb comes back, he might not even be good to go. Like he might play week 5, right? But do you think they're gonna roll him out there and be like, "All right, here comes old school Nick Chubb workload," right? Or do you think it's more likely that they ease him in, right? And then what happens if he doesn't look great? Like, I feel like the team is gonna be pretty smart with him. Like, that's a team that can make the playoffs. That's a team that realistically, like, I know Deshaun Watson hasn't been good, but in terms of like a team build, that's a team that could potentially make a deep run in the playoffs, right? So I understand having Chubb versus not having Chubb is important, but do you want to throw him out there to the Wolves, potentially re-injure him, potentially bring him back not at full health? I don't think I would be doing that personally. I would just kind of ease him in, and then maybe you get 70, 80% Chubb in the playoffs, Hit that like button and the subscribe button. Facts. Chubb is one of a Halloween tea giving stash to me. I agree. He needs a massage. I agree. I agree. They need to hire some team masseuses for Deshaun Watson. Would you go wide receiver instead of McBride in your spot? This is 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, 1 tight end. And to me, in my opinion, that's basically 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. So I went Trey McBride still. Again, do you need McBride there? No. But there's always something that just feels so comfy about not having to worry about the tight end position. What I mean by that is like every week you just start McBride. Every week you start Kincaid. Every week you start Pitts and you don't have to think about a Kittle. You just start them every week. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just play them. And there's something so cozy about that. Whereas, like, look, when you take Dallas Goedert, I don't like Dallas Goedert, but for instance, when you take Dallas Goedert, do you want to be playing Dallas Goedert every week? Probably not, right? So then you're shifting through the waiver wire. You're switching in guys in and out every single week. And it's just fucking hell. It's brutal. Now, you can win your league doing that. I've won leagues doing that. You find the next Jake Ferguson. You find the next this guy off the waiver wire, the Sam Laporta, right? And it's great. It's all fine and dandy, but it's a lot more stressful. Again, you can do any strategy, though, and win. You could draft a kicker in the first round and win your league, right? You can do that. He wants a happy ending. That's a fact. That is a fact. Rico Dowdle, Jerome Fode, Khalil Shakir, Chase Brown, Jared Goff, Dallas Goedert, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. So I think taking 2 quarterbacks normally is a little bit crazy, but in a scenario where you take Purdy, like I get getting a second quarterback in that scenario, right? Whereas if you're taking like a Mahomes type and then in like the 10th round you take another quarterback, I think that's a little bit crazy. Little bit crazy. Now, I didn't take a kicker or defense in this draft because there's really no need for us to sit here for an extra, say, 4 minutes taking kickers and defenses during a mock draft. But the strategy for kicker and defense is just wait till the last rounds to take them. So we're back up on the board here. We're going running back again. There's still a decent amount of wide receivers that I like late. So let's go ahead and take Zeke. Now, for me, the reason behind taking Zeke isn't because I think Zeke is better than Dowdle. I actually think Dowdle's better than Zeke. But I think Zeke is kind of just a guy like, would anyone be surprised if Zeke somehow fell ass backwards into a bunch of touchdowns? Would anyone be surprised if Zeke was just somehow the lead back on the team despite not looking the best? He has pass catching ability. We saw it in New England. Is he fully washed? In my opinion, no. But he's definitely no spring chicken. In the 10th round, I'm fine taking that chance on the Dallas Cowboys offense. Wide receivers go way down in productivity at that point, Justin. It makes sense. It makes sense. All right, but we do need more receivers, though, because we are trying to start 4 receivers at a time. It's been a solid draft so far. Again, none of you guys are really doing anything crazy. See some picks I like. Brian Thomas Jr.'s ADP keeps moving up. He went here at what pick is this? The 8-7 from Mr. Owens. I like that pick a lot. Keon Coleman, 8-5. A lot of rookie receivers. Oh, the main rookie receivers that we kind of talk about outside of obviously Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., who are like second, third, fourth round picks. These guys are also pretty solid as well. Addison's a guy that I'm kind of off on, if I'm being honest with you guys, because of the quarterback situation, because I think he's just going to get suspended a couple of games. But Jordan Addison's a really good player. It's just kind of the situation that makes me a little bit more nervous. I think I need to keep moving Brian Thomas Jr. up my rankings, though. I don't even think he's high enough yet. And he's pretty high, right? Like, I've moved him up pretty heavily, but I don't even know if he's high enough yet. Like Corum, solid pick there. We need a receiver, though, at some point. And we're not taking a backup quarterback or a tight end. It's just kind of my thought process is, hey, if I commit my 4th round pick to Trey McBride. Why am I drafting another tight end? Because I'm never playing them unless McBride gets hurt or on the bye week. And Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love isn't like to many like the most comfy click, right? But for me, I like Jordan Love a lot. So I'm fine taking Jordan Love and then not needing to take another quarterback. All right, all right, all right. I think the next stream we do will probably be an underdog stream just because I need to do more Best Ball Mania drafts. And then if we stream again, it'll probably be Sleeper. I do have a stream scheduled sometime next week with a guest. This dude is a great guy. He's a friend of mine. And this motherfucker has won hundreds of thousands of dollars on DraftKings. So the guy clearly knows ball. He's a great guy. He'll be coming on next week. Towards the end of the week, I believe. Tomorrow, I'm going on another show. I'm going on the Owner's Box show, talking about the AFC for betting. So if anyone likes betting, check that out. All right, we're about to be up here. We need a receiver. I don't want anything to do with Tyler Lockett. Like, what the fuck's the point of taking Tyler Lockett, in my opinion? I like Dobbs, but we already have Reed. I like A.D. Mitchell. Let's just go Mike Williams. I keep taking Mike Williams. I don't know why I like him so much. Even though, like, on paper, right, when you hear the name Mike Williams, you're thinking injury prone. Right? And I wish Sleeper kind of had a better way to look at it. Oh, yeah, no, down here. So 10 games, 16, 15, 15, 16, 13, 3. Is he the definition of the healthiest guy ever, right? Is he like, no, he's not the healthiest guy on earth. But is he like some injury prone sack of shit that you need to just pass over? No. He rejoined the team's drills, or he's going to. He's itching to come back. He's on the Breece Hall timeline. Breece Hall played in week 1 last year and dominated against the Bills. Look, I get maybe the Jets trade for some other receiver, but as of right now, Mike Williams is the number 2 receiver on the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. I understand he's in his 7th year. He's 29 years old. Sure, he's getting older. But this is a guy that last year, when healthy, was ripping off huge games, right? When he was playing, he had some solid games. 12, 13, 12 fantasy points. Oh, wait. Oh, that was his projection. 16 and 25 fantasy points. 16 and 25 fantasy points, man. And we're all panicking about him in the 11th round. Look, is he the healthiest guy ever? No. But I'm taking him in the 11th round like every single time. He's one of my favorite picks. I think the Jets are going to be a lot better than people give them credit for. So I like Mike Williams a lot. I think in the next draft, we're going to turn the pick timer down to a minute. I think a minute 30 is solid for your like at-home league, but in a mock draft, minute 30 might be a little bit too long. Because again, I'm trying to keep you guys invested in the video. That's why I like doing the drafts against the computer, because it allows me to talk a lot. And that's kind of why I don't do mock drafts randomly like on Yahoo or ESPN, even though people have asked about him. Do you like Keon Coleman? Yeah, I do. But I don't love him. I mean, like, I think he's a great pick where he's at. The upside's very significant. I mean, if you look at his profile from his college days, like, he's not a great separator, in my opinion. He doesn't have like a laundry list of great games. And he also doesn't have like crazy numbers. But Josh Allen advocated to draft him. He was heavily used in preseason. So in the 8th round, take the shot on him, right? Again, as you get deeper into the draft, you want to take more risks. MHJ or London, Marvin Harrison Jr. for me. I think it's hard to think of what the Bills are as well, Spock. I'm thinking the Bills are going to be better than probably what people think they will be, unless you think they're like a lock to win the AFC East. Now, will they probably win the AFC East? Yeah, because the Dolphins will just choke to them, or the Jets will just somehow fuck it up, right? Because they're the Jets. But like, I think they're going to be a little bit better than we give them credit for, but there is a chance that, like, Josh Allen's just spreading the ball out so evenly to Curtis Samuel, to Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, James Cook. Like, you get the ball, you all get the ball, Oprah Winfrey style. And then we kind of just end up feeling, like, depressed that we drafted Keon Coleman. But again, in, like, the 8th round, you shouldn't really be mad that you drafted anyone. Obviously, you can find a stud in any round, but that's just how I think about it. Which of the running backs are you confident drafting A-Chain over? I'm not taking A-Chain over any of those backs outside of ETN, personally. But look, if you like A-Chan, you can take him over. Oh, no, I would take A-Chan over Henry sometimes, too. Those guys are all very similar to me. Like, I have Saquon, Gibbs, and JT in a tier together. JT, Gibbs, then Saquon. And then Achan, Henry, Etienne are on the same tier together as well. So let's see here. Anything crazy? Herbert, I'm kind of out on Herbert if I'm being honest with you guys. Like it's gonna be such a run heavy team. I don't really feel the need to be super ambitious on Justin Herbert. All right. We're gonna run the thing at the bottom. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. We're gonna be running another draft after this on Sleeper. So if you have a Sleeper account, we're gonna do another 12 team draft. I picked up the 3-hole here. So I'll probably do like somewhere either in the middle or at the end. Brees Hall or Bijan. Look, Tony, I like Bijan, but if you ask me in 3 days, like it's so close. Like I've stuck with Bijan as my number 2. But if you want to take Brees Hall over Bijan, I'm not gonna argue with you. They're so close to me that it's like basically like a fucking coin flip, to be honest. If I'm in 10 leagues, I'd probably take Brees in 5, Bijan in 5. That's just really how it is. Like if I'm in 2 leagues, 1 and 1. They're both really good. LA Knight or AJ Styles? LA Knight, yeah. Whoever you think is more handsome. I like Bijan's haircut though, but I would argue Brees is the more handsome guy. Who am I voting for in the presidential election? Kanye West. Tua Tagovailoa for president, baby. We're not gonna sit here and talk politics. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. Cody Rhodes for president. Yeah. All right. Shit. All right. How many running backs do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we probably want another running back and a receiver. We're gonna just hunt for upside here. Let's go Dobbins. Let's go Dobbins because like we know the Chargers want to run the ball, so we know the Chargers want to run. J.K. Dobbins will probably get hurt 2 seconds in the season, but you know how it goes. The upside's always there with Dobbins. Now you don't have to take him like the 5th round. You can take him much later. Can the next draft be a 14-man, even if there's 2 teams on auto? I really want to practice. I can only do 12 teams mocks. Yeah, we can do that. We can do a 14-man draft. There's gonna be a 14-man draft on the channel coming up too, like a video. That's what I was thinking, but I also want Garrett Wilson. I like Garrett Wilson, but the odds you're gonna be able to stack Garrett Wilson and Brees are very low unless you're in like an 8-team league. I think Andrew's gonna get all the targets. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like likely, like what it likely, like I think we just heavily overrate likely because of how much people liked him out of college. Like when Andrew's healthy, he's the guy. That's just how I think about it. Now we can run a 14-team draft. Mama Rhodes for president. Mama Rhodes. Hawk to a Tagovailoa. All right. So the next one we'll do a 14-man one. Tom Brady, TB12, the GOAT in the 13th round. What a steal. What a steal. You know what's funny on Underdog? You can pick like Johnny Football and shit. I doubt Jonathan Manziel's on here anymore. They do have some funny ass players on here though if you scroll. I'm not going to take a funny player though because we're taking this seriously, baby. We're going to take best receiver available. Jahan Dotson, like, dude, the beat reporters, like, you read one beat report and they're like, holy shit, Jahan Dotson's great. You read another one, like, Jahan Dotson shouldn't even be on this earth. He's that bad. So it's pretty funny. Let's just go for the most upside pick here. Let's go Jalen Tolbert, who could be the number 2 receiver on the Dallas Cowboys. Brady is still on ESPN. That's pretty funny. All right, so we'll start with recapping the first team here, which is Soups Good. Number 1. So Soups Good went McCaffrey, Adams, Allen, Shad White, Higgins, Dave Montgomery, Brock Bowers, Christian Watson, Jameson Williams, Blake Corum, Xavier Legette, Pat Freiermuth, and Tom Brady. So obviously the Tom Brady pick was just a joke, so we won't even include that in the breakdown here. Like the running back room, I think you're a little light at wide receiver in terms of consistency because you went Bowers and Allen early. But overall, this is a team that I could see potentially hitting. Like if Watson really goes off, if Jameson Williams really goes off, I think this is a pretty solid team. I don't really hate this team. I don't love the team either, but I don't think this is like, I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, this team fucking sucks. Team 2, Tyreek Hill, James Cook, Josh Jacobs, Zay Flowers, George Kittle, Chris Godwin, Stevenson, Tua, Hopkins, Palmer, Chuba, Gabe Davis, and Aaron Rodgers. I like this team a decent amount as well. Do I love taking James Cook in the 2nd round? No, but I do think the team overall feels pretty solid. It's a good team. My team was CeeDee Lamb, Isaiah Pacheco, DJ Moore, who I reached on a little bit, Trey McBride, Pickens, Reed, Love, Moss, Spears, Zeke, Williams, Dobbins, Tolbert. Is this the best team ever I've drafted? No, but I'd be pretty confident in it going into the draft, going into the season. But again, it's all about the running back. It's all about which one of these running backs hits as my RB2. Rossi from the fourth pick took Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Devontae Smith. Oh no, what the fuck? Do I not know how to read? Chase, Collins, Debo, Andrews, Rice, Burrow, Swift, Deontay, Robinson, Gus, Samuel, Allen, Dotson. This is probably my favorite team I've seen thus far, but I think you should have maybe taken another running back here because the running back room is a little bit suspect, but I like this team a lot. The source, Brees, Drake London, Cup, Mahomes, Kincaid, Worthy, Ridley, Addison, JSN, Dowdle, Chandler, Wright, Davis. High upside team. I like this one a lot as well. Amon-Ra, again, none of you guys are probably going to draft a team that sucks so much ass that I would have to sit here and make fun of you. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Derrick Henry, Laporta, Jalen Hurts, Amari Cooper, Roma Dunze, James Conner, Brian Thomas Jr., Trey Benson, Jerome Ford, Mitchell, Purcell, Tebow. Tebow is an amazing pick. That gets you extra points. Shout out Tebow. Pretty good again. Like, again, none of you guys are going to draft like a shitty team. Like, I do question like James Conner, and I also don't like handcuffing my own running back. This team's good too, though. Jefferson, Achane, Neighbors, Smith, Pitts, Murray, Najee, Brooks, Sutton, Shakir, Schultz, Charbonnet, Downs. The only thing I have against you, 100K, would be you already committed to taking Pitts, right? So you're just assuming Pitts is going to hit at a super high rate. You're expecting Pitts is going to blow the league on fire. So there's no need to take Schultz. Outside of that, though, pretty good. Robinson for the team number 8. Bijan, Saquon, Olave, Dell, Lamar, Kirk, Mostert, Coleman, Brown, Dobbs, Hawkinson, Gronk. All right, so obviously Gronk's just the funny pick, but with Hawkinson, you need another tight end, which you would have done. Pretty solid team as well here. But when you draft Hawkinson, like if this league didn't have an IR, I'm not taking Hawkinson. Garrett Wilson, ETN, Mike Evans, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker, Allen, Ferguson, Purdy, Eckler, Goff, Myers, Wicks, Thielen. I don't want anything to do with Thielen. I get it, though. Personally, I would have waited to take my second quarterback, but I guess you got fine value on Goff. This is a good team. I think taking 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds now feels super different. So maybe that is what's going to end up working. And I'm also not the biggest fan of Walker. But again, all these teams are good. This team auto-picked a lot of the picks, so I'm not going to like this team. A.J. Brown, Kyron Williams, Kelsey, solid start when he was drafting. Diggs, who I'm out on. Kamara, like the first 5, 6 picks here, good. Pollard, I don't really like in the 7th round. McConkey, I don't like Chubb. I don't like Goddard. I don't like Lockett. I don't like Herbert. I like Cooks. This is probably the worst team, but again, it's because they auto-drafted some of the picks. Yo, it's Rusi. I learned from the best. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tato, Abril. Sorry, I apologize if I pronounce anyone's name wrong. Don't fucking sue me. Again, everyone who watched this for a while knows I'm notoriously bad at spelling, or not spelling, bad at pronouncing things. Gibbs, Harrison, Waddle, Pittman, McLaurin, Ingram, Dak, Javante, Singletary. All right, this is my favorite team. This is my favorite team by far. I would have probably drafted another running back instead of Shaheed, though. And then Jonathan Taylor, Puka, Ayuk, Metcalf, Richardson, Aaron Jones, Njoku, Zamir, Warren, Caleb, Jerry Jeudy, Polk, and Gibson. I like this team a lot. Again, if I believe in Richardson, I'm not taking a second quarterback, but the team's fine overall. So very good drafting. No one here really drafted a bad team. So I'm proud of all of you. Great job. Great work, everybody. So now we're going to hop into another one of these. I'm going to send the link in the chat. New mock draft. And we're going to do a 14-team one here because, again, I'm probably never going to do I'm going to do one more 14-team league mock draft. And 44 I'll get to you in half a second. We're going to do a 14-team one. And then we're going to lower the picks down so that it's only 60 seconds, 7 minutes and a half. And then I'm going to do this from pick 9. All right. The link is going into the chat here. Join up. 14-team league. A little bit different settings. And in the 14-team league, actually, we're going to remove one of the flexes. In a 14-team league, it's not as advantageous to have a crazy amount of flexes. So we'll remove one of the flexes, and it'll make the draft go by faster too. So 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, flex, 5 bench spots. I'm gonna turn the notifications off because I'm getting vibrations um, in my pants, which sounds weird, but that's actually true. This is 12. Oh fuck, it's supposed to be 14. It's fine. Join up, and there'll be 14 teams right now. I can add more teams. Boom. It's 14 now. Sorry. I thought I already did that. Now you can get in 14 teams. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I believe in Pitts. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do you like Moss over Chase Brown? Yes, on paper, I do. If they're going a similar range. And I believe in Pitts. Look, I think Pitts is a great player. I think the play calling was holding him back, and I think the quarterback situation was holding him back. I'm still learning the 12 teamers, second season. My pick 9. It was very helpful. Thanks. No problem, Joe. No problem. So the reason why I like Pitts is because I think he's a great player. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be able to elevate him, and I think the play calling is going to look to get him involved. Last year, we saw a tight end be successful in Atlanta. That tight end wasn't Kyle Pitts, though. For some reason, Arthur Smith was using Janu Smith. Janu was having solid games while you were pissed off that you drafted Kyle Pitts. Now, do I think that Kyle Pitts is a must draft player? To be honest, probably not. Probably not. But I think he has the upside to succeed in this offense. Let me copy paste the link one more time. There's one. Oh, never mind. There's no spots left. So let's just get into it right now. Start this. Oh shit. Oh my god. Here, wait. I pause the draft. Oh, it doesn't matter. I guess we'll just have one auto pick. It is what it is. It is what it is. I thought it was filled. I apologize. One auto picker in here. Sorry. That'll make it go a little bit quicker. What's the best number to get in the draft in a 12-team league? I'm 1 through 3, basically. 1 through 3 is my favorite. Burner account, thank you. 12-team PPR, third pick. Would Cup be okay in the third round? To me, yes. Look, to some, Cup is a little bit risky, right? Because Cup didn't have the best year. Cup's going around the range of pick 39, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27. So you're taking him at like a 10-ish pick reach, but sometimes he goes that high. So again, you don't have to be like a slave to the ADP. I think that Cup in the third pick in the third round is fine. I would be comfortable taking him there. I like Cup more than I like Debo, more than I like Diggs. So I'd be perfectly fine taking him there in the third round. We'll go back to it. So the draft begins McCaffrey, Lamb, Brees, Bijan, Tyreek, falling Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Jefferson, Chase. So now we're sitting here. Like, I realistically would love to go double running back in a 14-team league, but it's too early to do that. So we're going to go with my highest ranked wide receiver, which is Garrett Wilson. So Cup is fine in the third round at that pick. I'd be fine doing it. So yeah, I'd be perfectly fine doing that. All the reports out of camp are that Cup looks like his old self. The best number of the draft, in my opinion, is 1 through 3. In a keeper league, 10-man with 10 pick keeper is CD. Should I get a W like a wide receiver like Wilson or AJ Brown? I would probably just take a wide receiver and then go running back in the second round. Okay, I'm in a 12-man. What's the worst pick to get? 12. 12 is the worst. All right. So after we went with Garrett Wilson, so the reason why I went with Garrett Wilson over those other players is while I fully understand a 14-team league, you kind of want 2 running backs early because the running backs, it does kind of hurt when the running back, you don't get that second running back and you're kind of left waiting. But at the same time, I view Garrett Wilson higher than the running back, so I'm just going to take him. Again, I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to panic. One thing that sucks about a 14-team draft is I can't get every pick perfectly on the screen here because Relau over here is like hanging off the fucking edge of the draft screen for some reason. And I don't want to like mess with things because I know for sure if I click into my mouse and try to move, sometimes it like goes back on pages and then you guys will see like what else I'm looking at on my computer, and that's never a good idea, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., Josh Jacobs, ETN, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams back up on the clock for us. And we're going to go running back here and go with Devon A. Chan. Could have went Henry, could have went Pacheco. Either of those guys would have been acceptable. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I don't like Devontae Adams, but like there's talks of him getting traded. Like if he goes to the Jets, he's going to win leagues. Like, I like him a little bit more knowing that Gardner's there as the starting quarterback. I just don't really feel like Devontae Adams is gonna go out there and be like a top 5 receiver, whereas I think Puka could do that. I think Marvin Harrison can do that. I think, like, Drake London, if everything goes right, could do that. Like, Devontae Adams just in such a run-heavy offense, but I'm not gonna insult you for taking him in the second round. I just don't love the pick. But again, that's not a crazy pick because that's where he goes. Jacobs going a little bit early here at the 2.2, but I like Jacobs a lot as well, so I'm not gonna really scoundle you. What the fuck would the word be there? Make fun of you, I guess. Roast you for that. You hate the 8th more than the 12th? Dude, I don't like the 12th at all. It all depends on your position. If you want to draft a running back or receiver first, I just kind of draft the best player available in the first couple of rounds. What's up, Nick? What's up, Tyler? I'm in a 12-man league with the 6th pick. Do I go hero running back strat? It's all about who falls to you. If you can get Bijan, I would probably go hero, or Brees go hero running back. Join a second league. That's 10 team, 2 flex, half PPR. What's an early round strat you like? Again, it's all about just best player available. But in 2 flex leagues, inherently the value of wide receiver is boosted. Why? Because you can start 4 wide receivers at the same time. Gotcha, Spock. What are your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb's contract? My thoughts are that the Cowboys are basically just diddling him for no reason. Why are we playing with a top 3 receiver in the league's money? Why are we playing with that? Why? What's the reason? Just give him the fucking contract, right? Why are we playing with him? That's my thought. I personally think the contract will get finished. I don't think anything's gonna. I'm not worried at all. But again, today is August 21st. If you guys are watching on playback, right? Because you don't have to watch live. You can watch the playback. And I don't know how many people are watching an hour plus of playback. But then again, I watch like 4-hour long videos while I'm at work learning about random topics. So maybe people are doing that. Yeah, I agree with you, Spock. Jerry Jones playing games. Just figure it out. Just sign the fucking guy who's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Give him the money. The contract might look big right now. A year from now, there'll be another record-breaking contract. And then that same year in 2025, there'll be another record-breaking contract. There's going to be 8,000 record-breaking contracts. Just get the guy you want. That's just pay the guy. I don't really get what they're doing. When do you usually draft a quarterback? It depends. It really does depend. In leagues that are more deep in terms of 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, I'm more likely to take the quarterback or tight end a little bit later, but it's all about where they're falling, right? If I'm in the middle of the 3rd round, or I'd say, I guess if I was in the 4th round at any point and I saw either Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts, I would just insta pick them. That's just kind of my thought process on it. It's all about how the draft is going and where you draft them. Like, I'd say I'm not taking a quarterback, though, in the 1st or 2nd round. That is a no to me, taking a quarterback that early. I would be fine taking a tight end in the 2nd round, the late 2nd, but I'm definitely not taking a quarterback that early. If I'm in a 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex, do I go running back 1st round? Should I go hero running back or just draft the next best? Just keep drafting the next best, but most of the time, hero running back is my favorite strategy. Every draft I do on this channel, the mock drafts, when I'm going to do my real drafts, I don't go into the draft thinking I have to do anything. I just draft, and typically it ends up being hero running back. All right, we're back up on the board here, and then we'll do some more discussion with the comments, breaking down some of these picks. Allen goes ahead of us, Laporta, Kelsey at the onesies. Mixon's still available. Mixon's fine in the 3rd round of this kind of draft because it's a 14-team draft. It's a little bit bigger. We'll probably go wide receiver here. We've got Devon Achane, Garrett Wilson. Quarterback still available. We could go quarterback. Let's just go ahead and let's get Malik Neighbors. Again, if you're trying to be as risk averse as possible, don't take Malik Neighbors. He's clearly a risk, but he has crazy upside. Daniel Jones fucking sucks though, and that's a worry. But even though Daniel Jones sucks, like I don't think he's as bad as we say. Like he looked like trash in that preseason game. He's not great, but I think Neighbors has that upside to be like a top 5 receiver that I'm just going to take. Like Pittman's fine. I don't really like Debo. Like I also like the receivers that'll come back to me in the 3rd round if I don't end up going running back. In the 3rd and 4th round, yeah, Josh Allen will never make it out of the 3rd round most of the time. How am I feeling about the Dolphins? I love the Dolphins. I've been a Dolphins fan since I was young. I don't know how to feel. Personally, I think the team on paper should be in the AFC Championship game or at least past the 1st round. But I know how things play out. We choke in the playoffs. We don't make it far. It hurts my feelings every single time. I'm gonna say I think they should at least win one playoff game. I think they're one of the best teams in the AFC, but they always choke. So I can't get too high on them, but I will. I know I will because once I watch them play, right? They go week 1 in Jacksonville. They are going to potentially beat the dog piss out the Jaguars. And then I'm gonna come on video and be like, oh my God, the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. And then the Dolphins are not going to win the Super Bowl. Wouldn't mind seeing Dak with a new team. I think Dak might end up being on a new team after the season. In my opinion, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. That's fine. Again, I just don't try to set myself into the mindset, hey, I need a tight end here because if you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 6th round, I need a tight end. What happens if all the tight ends are gone and then you're like, oh, now I need to take Brock Bowers or something? That's kind of why I don't like to think that way. I don't care. I'm drafting Laporte in round 2, pick 6. Look, I'll tell you guys this all the time. If you want a player, just fucking take him. Draft kicker and defense last picks. That's true. That's true. All right, we're back up on the clock here. Bunch of tight ends and quarterbacks went. Running backs are looking a little bit suspect. I think we're just going to probably hold out on running back. Oh, it's going to be so gross. It's going to be so gross. Could go quarterback. Just get Richardson here. Let's just get Richardson here. Let's get a running back as our quarterback. Dude, I saw some reports today about how, like, some scouts were just taking a dump on Richardson, just making fun of Richardson. Like, look, like, the defense, the other team's defense, I forgot who they were practicing against today. Maybe I could find the report on my phone. But they were just talking about how, like, they were taunting Richardson, like, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. Look, Richardson's all of his value is just from running, so I don't really care if he's not a prolific passer. Is he an injury risk? Yes, but the upside is definitely there. Might be time for Jones to hang it up. I mean, dude, he should have hung it up years ago. As the season wears on, who will become Mr. Reliable for Williams? Who will become reliable for Williams is DJ Moore. ESPN drafts really making me want to get 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. Yeah, that's fine. Look, the ADP is so different on every site. ESPN typically has the most fucked up ADP. Like, out of every single league, ESPN is played on probably the most. I would say, again, this is just a guess. I don't have a single league on ESPN. I don't like ESPN. ESPN wanted to send me $1 gazillion to shill ESPN. I'll do it. But I don't think ESPN is that good of an app, that good of a drafting platform. Their ADP is always fucked up. The second worst is always NFL. The best ADP is on Sleeper, 100%. 100% feels like the most normal ADP. Like, nothing is crazy fucked up. All right, so Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, Devontae Smith, Tank Dell, Pitts. J-Dub went with the double or the triple running back start. A little ambitious, in my opinion. A little crazy. I can respect it. I can respect it. Very interesting start from Rila. One of each position, right? Running back, wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end. Pitts goes to 410. Doesn't seem like you guys are that nervous about Pitts. That's my opinion on doing these drafts with you guys. You guys don't seem to be super nervous on Pitts. Now, maybe that's because I like Pitts, or maybe that's because other analysts like Pitts that you listen to. So, but it does seem like the comment section normally is very nervous about Pitts. So it's kind of interesting. He will be playing tomorrow. AR-15 is playing tomorrow. I don't remember off the top of my head which teams are playing the starters. Some teams are just benching everyone. Some teams are playing the starters. I got my home league draft on Sunday with my friends from home. Obviously, it's a home league. With my dad playing in this league for like 14 years. 12 years, actually. Very fun. Who's your most drafted quarterback? Let's just go check. Underdog fantasy. I got to do more drafts on Underdog, though. So I need to do streams where I do it. Because the stream forces me to do the draft. It forces me to do the drafts. Whereas, like, when I'm just sitting at home, sometimes I just go play Madden or something instead. But I do want to do some more drafts. Drafts completed. I've done 34 so far. Exposure. So my most owned quarterbacks are Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield. But I do take Anthony Richardson all the time. Anthony Richardson, where's he at? Anthony Richardson. I've taken him twice. But that's because people on Underdog are a lot higher on Anthony Richardson. And typically, if I don't, like, reach for him, he never comes back. Top 4 quarterbacks, how would you rank them? Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, Lamar. Tom Brady told Stephen A. Smith that Patrick Mahomes is the number one quarterback, then Josh Allen 2, Lamar Jackson 3. That's not a crazy thought. Not a crazy thought. You got Allen ranked one spot. Are you not a little bit worried about him scoring 15 rushing touchdowns last year? Like, that's what concerns me. Like, he could score 10 again, but I don't know if he scored 15 again. I can see Hurts scoring 15. Bowers in the 5th is fucking insane, by the way. I mean, I could again, it's a 14-team league, so it's later than that. I just can't do it. Again, is it like a shitty pick? I mean, I'm not doing it, but I don't want to insult any of you guys, but I'm not taking fucking Bowers in the 5th round. I did like Bowers though. I was deciding between Kittle and Pitts. I agree. I agree with that. Who's your most drafted quarterback? Oh, I just answered that. I love Anthony Richardson, man. Indy versus Slim Shady. Interesting. Interessante. What would Jerry do? Nothing. Jerry doesn't do anything. Don't sleep on Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel's already hurt though. Curtis Samuel is already hurt. So, like, how high can you be on Curtis Samuel, who's already hurt? We'll pull his injury up after this. Okay, so we don't have a tight end, but we're not taking Kittle went before us. So we're not taking a tight end. Aaron Jones still available at running back. Let's go Aaron Jones. I like Aaron Jones way more than everyone else does. Like, I get if you drafted him last year, he's a bust. I liked it. I liked him. He was a bust. Going from the Packers to the Vikings, is that like a jump in like the team's worse, obviously, going to the Vikings. That's what I'm trying to say. But I think that the Vikings are going to like to run the ball a little bit more with Darnold compared to what they did with Kirk Cousins. And Aaron Jones ripped off a bunch of great games last season. And then in the playoffs, he had a good game, too. 2 good games. Like, if you look at his stats last year, he ripped off 100 yards or more in 3 straight games. And then he ripped off 2 in the playoffs. It's like, when healthy, he's good. So I like that. He feels like a value in the 5th round. Thoughts on Kyler Murray? I love him. You think Hurts is going to put up more fancy points than Josh this year? Yes, I do. Thoughts on Zamir? I like Zamir. The thing, though, is with Zamir is it's hard for me to really give him, like, the Gawk 9000 special, because when you watch his tape, he doesn't really do anything that's so special, right? When you watch some guys, you're like, okay, Gibbs, he has the speed. Achane, speed. Mostert, speed. Derrick Henry will run a motherfucker over. It'll take 4 guys to tackle him. Breece Hall, great pass catching. McCaffrey, great pass catching. Bijan, great pass catching. Great cutting. Saquon, you remember how great he used to be. Kyron Williams, the upside with the touchdowns, right? And then you're sitting there and you're trying to describe Zamir White. What does he do better than other people? Really nothing. But what he's going to do great is get a lot of touches on a run-heavy team. So while on paper he doesn't jump off the screen, but again, he's only played fucking 5 games, right? It's not like Zamir White has played 8,000 games where he's the lead back. So again, I don't want to sit here and pretend like I hate Zamir White, because I really like Zamir White, but nothing jumps off the page for him. Like, when you watch the tape, nothing's sitting there like, oh my God, this guy's a prolific pass catcher. But he got a decent amount of targets. He's the best running back on the team. And volume is key in fantasy football. We try to overthink things all the time. We try to be like, oh, Zamir White's on a shitty Raiders team. Sure. Do I like drafting players on bad teams? No, but I'm not going to sit here overwhelmingly and panic. I like Zamir White more than most people do, but there's not like a crazy amount of stats that will back up that thought. It's a lot of gut feeling over like, oh, look at these efficiency metrics. He is 3rd in yards per touch, 4th in run block rating, all this shit, right? He doesn't really have any of those crazy efficiency stats. When do you think you'll stream again? Sometime next week. I'm gonna, if you guys are in the Discord that Spock just linked, when I stream, I typically don't have the stream set up for a long time, but I will say it in the Discord a couple hours in advance. Like, hey, I said today, hey, I'm going to stream. I'm going to do some drafts. Make sure you guys join up. So I'm probably going to do that again next time I stream. Are birds real? No. Made by the government. Curtis Samuel. What's up, Nick? What's up, Force? How we doing? Heard a lot of buzz about Brian Thomas. I've heard a lot of that as well. I like Brian Thomas. All right, we're back up again. We desperately need another receiver. Desperately. The tight ends are just fucking... Like, someone already took Ferguson. So, like, that's the guy that I wanted. So we're basically just punting the tight end position. Worthy is... I like Worthy, but I'm going Godwin. I'm getting the reliable touches. We took Reed last time. I'm trying to take different players in each mock draft so that, like, anyone who's watching, like, I'm not just talking about the same guys. Lots of vacate targets on Jags offense. I agree. Sam Howell wasn't Josh Allen for Curtis Samuel. Yeah, but let's be honest. How many years has Curtis Samuel played in the NFL? A gazillion. And he's never been special. He's never been special. He's had games. And he's gonna have games again in Buffalo, right? He's gonna rip off some games where he scored like 21 PPR points week 15 against the Rams, 18 against the Eagles and the Bears. He's gonna do that again, but he's nothing special to me. Nothing special in terms of talent. He's considered week to week with toe soreness. Could be healthy to start the season, might not be. And I just punched myself in the fucking lip, and that actually hurt. I don't know why that just happened. Jalen Hurts or Drake London? In 8-man, I want Jalen Hurts. Samir White. Well, if we're talking, are you talking about preseason? I mean, I don't take preseason as the gospel, to be honest with you. Like, some of it's telling, some of it isn't. White's situation is favorable. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad pick. All right, Tyron, have fun. Have fun. Enjoy that workout. What's up, PM? How we doing? Thoughts on Jaden Daniels? I love him. Too much depth in Buffalo. Keon Coleman, everyone else. I agree. I honestly think, though, if you're like, oh, who's the best pick on the Bills? It's either James Cook or Kincaid. Don't you think Gardner Minshew will make Adams and Myers better? No. No. Like how much better is Gardner than Aiden O'Connell? Like, let's just be fucking honest. Is he really that much better? Yeah, he's better than Aiden O'Connell, but it's not like they're going from Aiden O'Connell to like even like a middling quarterback. Like, let's see. Like if they got like if they drafted like Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, I'd be like, oh my god, Devontae Adams to the moon. But no, like if they had like Kirk Cousins, I'd be way more excited too. Again, Devontae Adams is a good player. The thing is, they just run the ball so much in Las Vegas that it's like, how can I buy so heavily into Adams? Yeah, he made Pittman good last year. I agree. Pittman was good last year, but Pittman is in his prime of his career. I like Minshew the player. I just don't. I just don't see it for Adams. I really don't. Like Adams is going to put up similar numbers to last year. He's going to be fine. I just don't see him really blowing up at his age and being like the number one receiver in fantasy. If you put Adams on like the Chiefs or something, then yeah, he's going to be amazing. Or like on some other team. But again, they just want to run the ball so heavily. That's why I'm fading them. Like why do you want to draft a player on such a run heavy team that's aging? Yeah. Until you're in garbage time and maybe he gets like again, he's going to have big games. Like last year in the championship, he scored like 30 points or something. Yeah, 37 fantasy points. But again, he wasn't very consistent, and that's like kind of worrisome when you're taking a guy in the second fucking round. So we're back up on the clock again. The running backs looking as suspect as ever. Tight ends, just not really wanting to take one here. We'll take Worthy here. Worthy's been looking good in camp. He's kind of one of those guys that is basically like you put him in your lineup any given week, and he's either going to have the game why you win, or he's going to probably be the reason why you lose. And he scores like 2 points. He's like a big boom. Shout out to Costco guys. Big boom. Potentially doom though for you, right? Bad games, really bad games, but the upside's there. So that's why I'm taking Worthy. I benched Adams in the championship and it cost me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you that was even a crazy decision to think. Who was he playing? Playing the Colts. I mean, that's a favorable matchup. But again, he scored 1 point the week prior, 24 then 12, 12. Like, again, he wasn't like when you had Adams, you don't want to. I just didn't think he was that trustworthy. Uncle Rico. Who can trust Josh Jacobs after last season? I mean, look, if you watch the games last season, you know why Josh Jacobs struggles. It's pretty clear. Struggle because again, this is something that's going to hold back Zamir too. They're going to load the fucking box. They know you're running. And then they fire the head coach. They get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Everything starts to go good. And then Jacobs gets hurt. I trust Jacobs so much. Jacobs is one of the best running backs in the NFL. And Josh Jacobs is on one of the best teams in the NFL. That's going to be scoring a lot of points. People are going to overthink Jacobs. Can I get in the next mock? This is going to be the final mock. We've been streaming for an hour and a half, but we will do this stream again at some point. Maybe not this necessarily this week. It's already Wednesday, but maybe Sunday in the afternoon because I have a draft Sunday night. Maybe we could stream tomorrow, but again, I'm not going to lock anything in. Say you guys like, oh, it's a guarantee because I'll probably just post a video. Kamara or Jacobs, full PPR Jacobs. And I like Kamara, but it's Jacobs. Not even a question about it. Kamara could come out and be dust. They're using Taysom Hill on the goal line. I've seen they're using Taysom Hill. They have Jabal Williams. Look, I like Kamara. He's going to get a million touches, but okay, cool. Would be a fire to mock Sunday afternoon. I got 2 drafts a night. Sounds good. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Again, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I don't want to say something in stone. Hey, I'm going to do this, but I'm trying my best to do some streams, do some videos. The one thing I will note though is it seems like the second video of the day is significantly impacting my first video, and I'm hoping maybe the stream doesn't do that. But also the mock drafts do super well later. Like I could post a mock draft, it could come out the gate like shit, and then like a week from now, it could have 10,000 views, which again is important to get the views up because I'm trying to get more subscribers. But I am trying to also help you guys the most. So I do enjoy doing the mock drafts as well. Yeah, dude, everyone's always hurt, dude. Everyone is hurt on the Packers. The other running back, Lloyd, is hurt too. Yep, all cool. Your videos have been a good watch too, always during lunch. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to get my videos out at 10 a.m. every day and then 5 p.m. if it's a video. And then if I stream, it's probably like 8:30, 9-ish for the stream start. All right, back up again. Back again. Don't have a tight end. But again, I don't really feel like so ambitious on any of these guys. Let's take Brian Robinson. I think he's the lead back in Washington. Eckler could be dust. The Washington line sucks though, but Brian Robinson should be fine, like as a running back 3. I always send you videos to my friends. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. I hope they enjoy too. Hope they like the videos. Let's see here. We're going to talk more about the draft too as we go. Yeah, my video from today has 3.1 thousand views already, which is pretty solid. That is on the trajectory to potentially hit 10K. So that's good. We're almost at 33,000 subscribers. Again, I say this all the time in my videos. I'm very appreciative of all of you guys. Every single one of you guys, whether you watch every video, you watch one video, you're just new here, it means the world to me. I really do appreciate you guys all. All right. Jalen Warren goes ahead of us. That's the computer, though, so I'm not going to really judge too much. Caleb in the 8th. It's so interesting. Like, if you guys are new to 14-team leagues, please do a bunch of mock drafts before you actually have your draft, because going from a 12-team league to a 14-team league feels so much different. The strategy is a lot different. And it's the same thing like if you're new to a 10-team league, normally you're used to doing 12-team leagues, you got to switch to 10-team leagues. Or like if you're normally in a 10-team league and now you're in a 12-team league, you need to practice because the philosophy of the picks is way different. The thought process is way different. Even though, like, yeah, I get it's the same players, but the strategy is different. First time seeing your content, and I'll definitely be checking out some of your videos. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. I'd say the videos are definitely different than the live streams, obviously, because, like, on the stream, I'm talking to you guys. I'm doing other stuff. Like, but the videos is just me talking for like 40 minutes at a time. Obviously, so is this. We've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes. It's just a little bit different. And normally on the stream, I'm a little bit more zipped up, I guess, or like I'm not like cursing as much, getting all angry because like I'm talking to you guys, so there's really not as many needs to curse or something or say something crazy. Whereas when I'm just talking to myself, I just start saying crazy things because I just think it's funny. Streams I think are funny too. I'm doing a 10-team league with some of my buddies. Do you think a 10-team league is just Mickey Mouse? No, it's not. It's not. Like, people tell you that, like, "Oh, you're 8-team league, you're a pussy," or something, right? Play in whatever league you want. Like, again, 8-team leagues, 10-team leagues, like, personally, I feel like the better player you are, you wanna be in, like, a 12-team league. Like, if you think you're really good at fantasy, the 12-team league is the best because in 10-team leagues, it's way easier for other guys that aren't as good to shoot out these crazy teams, right? If you're in, like, a 10-team league, the dumbest person you know might be able to draft a great team. The 8 person you know might be an 8 team league. They might the person you know that's so stupid they don't even know how to tie their shoes. They're wearing Velcro shoes at the age of 40. They might be able to draft a great team. Whereas in your 12-team league, the 14-team league, that's where the real big dogs come out. Yeah, dude, a 10-team league, 8-team league, whatever league you're in, don't feel like you're less than anyone else that's playing in a bigger league. It ain't a big deal to me. All right, I'm going to go Rico Dowdle here. And then I think we're just going to probably look to double up on tight end. So draft 2 tight ends and then another receiver. That's the play here. Favorite position to draft from this year? In a 14-team league, I've only done one of these, so I actually have no idea. The nine pick actually feels pretty good. In a 12-team league, it's 1 through 3. In a 10-team league, it's 1 through 3. In an 8-man league, it really doesn't matter. I heard the Bears D is going to be better now. I think they will be as well. But again, I am not someone that is looking to draft a defense super early. The defense video is going to come out soon on which defenses to draft based upon their week 1 matchup. That is so important to stream defenses. Now, if you're newer to fantasy football, it is kind of difficult. I'll admit to you, it is a little bit difficult on paper figuring out what to do. Like if you were just on your own, right? You're sitting there trying to figure out which defense to stream. It might be complicated. But if you're watching my videos that I make every single week on which defense to stream, sometimes the defenses are whiffs. I've been making defense to stream videos since like 2019. I've put out some defenses that get negative points, right? It's hard. Some weeks it's hard, but it's a very good way to get the jump up on your opponent who might be starting the 49ers because they're a great defense, but they're going up against the Chiefs or something, and the Chiefs run a train on them. But they still have to play them because they don't want to cut them, right? So I think that streaming defense is very important. Evening gang, what's up? What's up, Robert? How we doing? 10-team league draft Saturday, and I'm gonna be like my team a lot more than this one. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Going from like even a 12-team draft compared to a 10-team draft, you're gonna like your 10-team draft a lot more. Videos are buttoned up and tight. You have a goal in the videos. Streams are kind of kick back and chill. I agree. Yeah, it's a little bit different. A little bit different vibe, right? Because on a stream, you can just talk about anything. Like we don't like I haven't even went over a crazy amount of the picks that are happening because we're talking about other things. But this has been a good draft so far. Like I really like how you guys are drafting very smart. And again, it's so funny because if you compare this draft that we're doing right now to your home league draft, like if you're in a 14-team home league draft, there's going to be way crazier things occurring in your at-home league. Like nothing that insane happened. Like I would have said it because I'm looking at every pick, I'm reading it. I might not be saying it out loud, but there have not really been any picks here that are like so laughable. It's like, is this person fucking incompetent or something? Whereas in your at-home league, like there's going to be someone that does something insane. Like you might be in a league where 3 quarterbacks go in the first round. You just really never know. Yeah, good luck in your draft, man. I got both Breece Hall and Gibbs. How is that even possible? That's amazing. Ben Sinnott is the tight end punt of all punts. I like Ben Sinnott, but I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Ben Sinnott, there's no way I'm playing him week 1, but I've taken him in a bunch of best ball drafts. All right, we got to push this back up so we can make our pick. Who's your top 3? It's McCaffrey, Tyreek, CD. Yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. Streaming D's. Yeah, I agree. A lot of the spreads, the matchups, all key in your thought process here. So we need a tight end. Let's go Freiermuth because Freiermuth is in Arthur Smith offenses. Just love tight ends. Let's just hope it's him, not Darnell Washington. Yeah, we got to lock in, boys and girls. Lock in. What does that say? No, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Hit that like button. Facts. You like JT or Garrett Wilson? I like Garrett Wilson. But I like JT too. But JT might fall back to you in a second. It is a great thing. I wasn't able to join back. Mine is on auto after Gus Edwards. That's fine. That's fine. If it doesn't let you join back, you could try and just click the link again that's in the chat and maybe it'll let you back in. But I don't know. Again, I don't do any, like my home league drafts are all on NFL. My league with you guys that I'm doing with Spock is on Yahoo. But most of my drafts are on NFL. Not because I think NFL is the best fantasy football platform, but because we've been playing fantasy football in these leagues for like 12 years. So it's like they were just created when I was in middle school. I made the league and it was on NFL, and I don't feel like changing it because there's certain things that are like a part of it. Like I like looking at the league history. Maybe that's like fucking corny, but I like looking at the league history. I like seeing like when I won all these things, all the people, because our leagues, while the main core group of guys are still there, like there's been turnover. There's been some people that are in the league now that weren't in the league. Our one friend passed away who was in the league. So it's like, I kind of feel like it would be a dick move to get off the site so that like, his legacy is still on there. So pretty cool. That's why I like, again, that's like kind of sentimental, I guess. I don't know. Maybe some people don't give half of a fuck. Anyone know if the Cowboys re-signed CeeDee Lamb? No, they didn't. They haven't done it yet. We need another tight end, which is kind of gross. the tight ends here are trash. Taysom Hill's low key not a bad pick if I'm being blatantly honest with you. If you can start him at tight end, because he's a very high upside pick, and I might just end up taking him with the last pick if no one else does it. No one else does it. Now that we take 2 tight ends, though, we have to worry about bye weeks at tight end. We got our team. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs, 5 wide receivers. So we'll probably go with another running back here to close things out. Yeah, I literally look back at the history all the time, see, like, when I've won my at-home league, the main league, that used to be 14-man, now 12-man, I've won twice. I beat my dad once, and I beat Jarrell, the guy who passed away, once in the championship. I haven't won recently, though. In my other league, I won my Superflex league last year. I've won my one friend Josh's league. Me and my dad have won. I think we've been playing for 9 years. Me and my dad have won 8 out of 9 times, or 8 out of 10 times, something like that. One of us have won. We have 2 different teams. It's straight domination in that league. That one's the one where I really get my ego up. I don't know if anyone else has a league like that, where it's like I might get smashed by some of my friends because they watch all the videos. It's very hard to draft against a bunch of people that know exactly what you're gonna do. So that makes it a little interesting. Let's go Tracy here. High upside running back on the Giants. I agree. It's all about that legacy. That's about taking Brees at 101. Look, if you're in one draft, I heard Ron say this the other day. Ron Stewart, my friend, he makes videos on here as well. Fellow New Jersey guy. He has more subscribers than I do. So I assume if you know who I am, you probably know who he is. But he said something in a video the other day. He said, if you are in one league at the 101, just take whoever you want. So if you want Brees Hall, take him at the 101. But if you're in like 3 different leagues and you have all different picks, I wouldn't take him at the 101. Now, there's no way the Dolphins are going to be able to get CeeDee Lamb. We have 0 money to do that. But if there was no cap, that would be crazy. Have Waddle, Lamb, and Hill. Highest upside, Garrett would be, in my opinion, Garrett Wilson with Rodgers. Like, if Rodgers hits, the upside is so significant. Shout out to Jarrell, exactly. League memories are, yeah, it's nice to look back at it. It's just fun to go back every once in a while and look back and be like, wow, look at what my team looked like in 2015. And then it's like half these guys aren't in the league anymore. Some of the guys, like, you're like, holy shit, I had this guy on my team for one week and he was on my championship winner. Like, it's just funny to look at. Like, it's funny also to look at, like, oh, back in the day, like 9 running backs went in the first round. Whereas now, and like quarterbacks are in the first round. Whereas now that's just not happening. Oh. Dude, I've been getting way too many sponsorship emails from like companies that make no sense. Like, oh, Nick, would you like to advertise our fucking double-ended dildo or something stupid? It's like, no. It's like, maybe I advertise stuff that I actually like. So maybe that would be that was funny. But there's like shit like, oh, you want to advertise this chair? Do you want to advertise this table? Like, no one on the channel is coming to me and like, oh, I want to buy a table. So I'm gonna go listen to Nick's video, right? I'm a 12-team half PPR league with 2 IR spots. Should I prioritize drafting players like Nick Chubb? I'd be fine with Jonathan Brooks and TJ Hawkinson, but I don't want anything to do with Chubb. Wilson for sure, I agree. What recommendations would you do on my team? All right, here, wait, let me make my pick first. All right, we need our tight end. And let's go with that upside of Sanat. Let's go Ben Sanat. Josh Allen, Brees Hall, Gibbs, Devontae Smith, Tank Dell, Kittle, Reed. Yeah, you need to upgrade receiver, but I'd be fine just holding out right now and not making any crazy trades. History is great until I lost the Super Bowl as an undefeated team. Yeah, I wonder who you lost to. Yeah, I think he has a good team. I wouldn't, again, something that a lot of fantasy players do. I've noticed just from making content and in my friends' league, like leagues with my friends, people will be super worried about their team. They're making trades for no reason. You're like, oh, I need to make a trade this week. You're trading guys for no fucking reason. It doesn't make your team any better. Just stay back. I agree with that. Oh, you have depth like Keon Coleman and Lyle McConkey. Yeah, then don't bother trying to make a trade. Sketch. Yeah, that was a sketch move right there. Shout out Sketch. What's up, brother? Do you guys? It's in, brother. Do you guys think Chris Godwin will play better than Mike Evans this season? No, but I wouldn't say like that's impossible. Lad McConkey. Lad McConkey. It's interesting though in these 14 team drafts, like what goes later because like these guys don't go in your 12 team leagues. The guys like Dontavian Wicks who are super interesting upside picks. Guys like let's see, like Dotson, Polk, Davis, Luke McCaffrey, Quentin Johnston, Michael Wilson, who I like a lot. Like these are guys that aren't going. Like even these tight ends, like you never really see Musgrave go or Otten, Likely, Janu. Very interesting. Damian Pierce, dude. I love Damian Pierce, dude, but I think Damian Pierce might be straight up dust, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I think Cam Akers has looked better than him from what I've seen. And this is coming from Damian Pierce's #1 fan. I was a fan of Pierce coming out of college. I drafted him his rookie year. I drafted him last year, and he bent me over a table. Pause. And it's like I kind of want to just take him like in these best ball drafts, and I've done it on underdog, and it just hasn't been paying off. Hasn't worked well, even though I like him. All right, all right, all right. Wick's wide receiver on Packers is good. I think he's good too. I'm just saying it's interesting. Interesting. He's one of my highest owned best ball wide receivers. Braylon Allen, Kendre Miller. Dude, Kendre Miller has been Dennis Allen, the head coach of the 49ers. I've never seen a coach hate a player more than the head coach of the Saints hates Kendre Miller. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but dude, he hates Kendre Miller with everything inside of him. He hates Kendre Miller. All right. So our team went as follows. We finished with Garrett Wilson, Devon Achane, Malik Neighbors, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin, Xavier Worthy, Robinson, Dowdle, Fryermuth, Tracy, and Sanat. This is about as good as you can do drafting a quarterback early in a 14-team league. Again, I don't think you need to draft a quarterback early, but that's what a team's going to look like when you draft a quarterback early. So we're not even going to bother recapping the CPU team here at pick #1. I think their team is pretty decent, though, if I'm being honest with you. Team 2, Lamb, Ayuk, Cup, Kincaid, Connor, Williams, Prescott, Zeke, Chandler, Wicks, Mooney, Allen. The one problem with 14-team leagues is this is a zero running back build, but you have to pull the trigger earlier on the zero running backs like he did in the 5th round, so you couldn't really wait. Solid team, though. Brees Hall, Michael Thomas, Sam Laporta in the 3rd round, solid snag. Flowers, Kirk, Moss, Reed, Dobbins, Tua, Shaheed, Gibson, Watson. This looks exactly like a team I would draft, but I'm probably not taking Deshaun Watson as my backup quarterback. Brian Robinson, James Cook, or Bijan Robinson, sorry. James Cook, Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, I'm not taking him in the 5th round. I would have taken Kittle over him. But if you like Bowers, I guess I get it. Mostert, Love, JMO, Brown, Downs, Otten. All right, so I wouldn't have taken Otten and I wouldn't have taken Rodgers. But again, this is still a good team. Burrow's son, talking about Pat Mahomes. Tyreek Hill, Rashad White, DJ Moore, Kyle Pitts, McLaurin, Brooks, Daniels. Okay, I like this team, but you needed more receivers. I mean, not more receivers, more running backs. Because, like, realistically, in this lineup, who you're starting week 1? You're starting Rashad White and who? Benson? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Josh Allen, Tank Dell, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Deontay Johnson, Austin Eckler, Dallas Goedert, Adonai Mitchell, Ricky Pearsall. I don't like Pearsall. And then Davis, solid team though. Jefferson, Henry, Waddle, Smith, Pickens, White, Watson, Williams, Corum. I love this team. Chase, Pacheco, Collins, Burrow, Kittle, Ladd, Singletary, Ford, Cortland Sutton, Algier is another team that I really like a lot. Hopefully, Chase resigns. I like Brooks, but week 1, Brooks isn't going to be playing. I'm sorry to tell you. Sorry to inform you. Garrett Wilson, Achane, Malik Neighbors. Oh, that's me. I like my team, obviously. A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Hurts, Mixon, Ingram, Stevenson, Coleman. I like this team too. I don't know about Charbonnet anymore. I'm kind of hesitant to draft Charbonnet now, but he's fine late. Gibbs, Nakua, Pittman, Andrews, Montgomery, Stroud, Addison, Warren, Shakir. All right, so wide receiver 3 on, very suspect, but could be fixed on the waiver wire. The rest of the team looks very good, though. Again, there's another team here, Barkley, Etienne, Kamara. I'm never taking 3 running backs in a row, but the good thing about that is, though, you have such a stranglehold over the running back position that, like, you could trade one of them off, and you could just start all 3. You're going to be starting all 3 every week, obviously. Overall, though, team looks pretty good to me. Kyron, Jacobs, Debo, Lamar Jackson, Adunze, Jake Ferguson, Gus Edwards, D-Hop. I like this team, Problem is, you don't need to draft a second quarterback or a second tight end. So just don't do that. I guess you could in a 14-team league, but I'm still not going to do that. Definitely not a second tight end. And then Jonathan Taylor, Maserati Marv, Pat Mahomes, McBride, Rice, Najee, Thomas, Brown, Williams, Hubbard, Polk, McLaughlin. Great team, but I think it's hard to execute well in a 14-man league, drafting a quarterback and a tight end with in 2 of your first 4 picks. I think it's hard to execute. You executed it well, but I would say like a good normal exercise, I would normally not do that personally. And this team's heavily relying on Najee to hit or on hitting on the waiver wires. Thank you guys all for watching today's stream. The NFL should hire Pete Carroll to coach the Patriots. Pray for Aaron Rodgers to stay healthy. I hope so. That was an auto. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right, fellas. Great stream. I forgot that you autoed Tony, part of your team. So I apologize. I just shit on the computer. Mr. Robotos. Thank you guys all for watching today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drake London in round 2. Are we talking about in this draft where he was taken? At the 2-9, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. So I hope you guys all have a great night. I appreciate everyone stopping by today's stream. It means the world to me. I will be doing some more streams during the season. We stream every Thursday and every Friday. No, not every Friday. Every Thursday, every Sunday. What I'll tell you is, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit on the music. That's the plan as we get out of here. But what I'll tell you is week 1, there's a game Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and Monday. We'll be live Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Not Monday, though, because I don't really feel like going live after a majority of the games played. Make sure you guys are there for the streams. NFL should add another team in Canada. That would be interesting. Favorite spot in a 10-man. Again, 1 through 3 for me. 7? Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, man. No problem. I really appreciate all you guys watching the streams. I love you guys all so much. Hope you have a great rest of your guys' day. And I'll see you guys on the Flibbity Flop. Have a good one. Whee! All right, let's thanks, man. See you guys all. I forgot that I had to end the stream, so I'm just gonna take my camera off.